Hello, I'm C Monster 51, and these are my Week 4 NFL predictions. Last week I went 11-5, and I am now 33-15 on the season. Okay, so let's start with the Thursday night game. We got Seahawks versus Cardinals. The Seahawks had an impressive win against the Saints last Sunday when they won 44-13, I believe. And then you got the Cardinals, who lost on a game-winning field goal against the 49ers on Sunday. Since these are two NFC West teams, two division teams, these games are harder to predict than all the other games usually, because they always go either way. So since the Cardinals are the home team, I'll pick the Cardinals to win this game. Okay, now let's go to the Sunday games. We're going to go to this one because this game will be played in Ireland Sunday morning. Anyways, we got Vikings versus Steelers. I trust Aaron Rodgers a little bit more than I do the Vikings, so I'll pick the Steelers to win this game. And now we're gonna go this way. In this game, we're gonna skip it for now because it's a Sunday night game. Okay, Eagles versus Bucks. And this right here also looks like the game of the week. This one too. But on the NFC side, at least, it's the game of the week. And I was also seeing that the Eagles are 3.5 point underdogs. Favorites. 2.5 point favorites. You know what? This will be my upset of the week. My first of my two upsets of the week. I'm going to pick the Bucks to win and stay undefeated on the season. Okay, now we got Commanders versus Falcons. The Falcons got shut out last week against the Panthers. What was the score of that game? Like 30-0, I want to say. No, I'm definitely picking the Commanders in this game because that was bad. Panthers versus Patriots. I didn't check the line in this game, but I'm pretty sure that the Patriots are probably favored. I know that the Panthers had an impressive win last week against the Falcons, but I'll still lean with the Patriots in this game. And if they win, we'll get back at 500. Okay, Chargers versus Giants. The Chargers right now, they're playing like one of the best teams in the NFL right now. And the Giants, the last I heard, that they were going to start Jackson Dart at quarterback because they benched Russell Wilson. Who knows how Jackson Dart might play in this game, but we'll see. But I gotta go with the Chargers to win this game. Okay, Saints versus Bills. There's nothing much to talk about in this game other than this should be a very easy win for the Bills, especially at home. Browns versus Lions. The Browns, they had an impressive win against the Packers on Sunday. But then again, it was mostly because the Packers shot themselves in the foot the last 4 minutes of the game. And then you got the Lions, who beat the Ravens on Monday Night Football. They won 38-30. So I'll pick the Lions to win this game and move to 3-1 on the season. Colts versus Rams. Colts are still undefeated. Meanwhile, you got the Rams, who are 2-1. I don't know, this game could go either way, but I'll give the Rams the benefit of the doubt. Okay, Jaguars versus 49ers. I heard that Nick Bosa tore his ACL and will miss the remainder of the season. You know, at some point, I think the injuries are going to stack up against the 49ers, like how it happened last season. And I think because of that, this will be my second upset of the week. The 49ers are favored by 3.5 points. So I'm going to pick the Jaguars to win in an upset. Okay, Bears versus Raiders. The Bears finally won their first game of the season when they beat the Cowboys pretty handily last Sunday. You know, but I don't know. I just think that the Raiders win and get back at 500 in this game. Titans versus Texans. Wow, the Texans are a mess right now. They're sitting at 0-3, and so are the Titans. You'd figure that the loser of this game, they probably have like less than a 5% chance of making it to the playoffs. Whoever loses this game. But still, I think the Texans are the better team in this game. Okay, Ravens versus Chiefs. The Chiefs finally got their first win of the season last Sunday night against the Giants. And the Ravens lost in a shootout against the Lions on Monday. So pretty much, whoever loses this game will drop to 1-3 on the season. And that is not ideal if you want to contend for a Super Bowl. You know, I think I trust Patrick Mahomes more in this game. So I'll pick the Chiefs to win and get back at 500. Jets versus these are the two Monday night games that we have this week. So in that case, we'll move on to the Sunday night game. Was the Packers versus the Cowboys. You know, let me say this too. There was a Packers player earlier in the week, Rasheed Walker, who said that they could go undefeated. You know, I'll admit that's not how things work in the NFL. You say something stupid like that, you're the one that's gonna look stupid in the future. You know, especially when their offensive line was horrendous against the Browns on Sunday. And then you also got Jordan Love, who threw a horrendous interception, a bonehead interception. Was like 3 minutes left in the game. Like, why would you throw that? Why would you throw that interception? That play call made absolutely no sense whatsoever. When they were up 10-3, it was like 3.5 minutes left in the game. Like, if anything, run something safer, like a read option or something. Even if they don't get it, they can still pin the Browns back, and the Browns have to go like 80-90 yards just to tie the game. Like, you gotta be kidding me. That was terrible. I just had to rant. Okay, but anyways, I heard that CD Lamb got injured last Sunday night too. I don't know. I'll give the Packers the benefit of the doubt in this game and say that they'll bounce back and win. But man, if they don't win this game, then who knows? Things might go south for them, like how it went back in 2022. And also, they gotta fix their special teams too, because how many times has that happened where their special team lets them down in the game? First, you have the 2014 NFC Championship game where Brandon Bostic botched that onside kick, and then you got that playoff game against the 49ers in 2021 where they got a punt blocked when they were up a touchdown that game. And then you got last Sunday when they got a probably what was going to be a game-winning field goal that got blocked. Yeah, well, but anyways, enough ranting about the Packers right now. And let's move on to the Monday night game. Jets versus Dolphins. Man, it seems like whoever loses this game, I mean, they might as well start thinking already. They might as well start losing all their games, so that they could get a higher draft spot. Because man, it's not looking good for either one of these two teams. I'll pick the Dolphins to win this game. Okay, Bengals versus Broncos, which is the second Monday night game of this week. Who knows how long Joe Burrow's going to be out. If not, maybe the whole season. So give me the Broncos to win this game. Well, it looks like that's all the week 4 games for this week. Now let me know your predictions. See y'all later.